Okay, we're back again. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to fix the, work on the mouth and nose a little bit here. So basically the first thing that you want to do for working on the mouth is we're going to go into edge mode here. And we're going to just select these edges here. And if you notice, I don't want to pull them straight up. I want to pull them straight up and back. But I'm going to do this twice. So move the first one up, move the second one up like so. And that works well like that. And then we're going to grab these down here. And now that I've selected these, I'm holding shift down in case you didn't know, on edge mode, and it'll basically expand the edge out. Okay, so now once we've got this done, the one of the things that I'm going to do here, and this is kind of odd. Remember I was talking about how you don't want this to be a circle in the previous videos. So now that I've got this a circle, actually no I don't. I fixed that already. Alright, so what we're going to do is we got to fix this. So we're going to go into the vertex mode, pull this vertex up over here, and pull this one over like so, and start with so. Alright, so this is going to create our edge loop, like so. Let's let's collapse these two in, and let's move this a little bit forward, and I think that's good. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out here, this out here, and then this is going to get kind of funky, but what I'm going to do, I think, is I think I'll leave it for now. We'll work on it in a second. Okay, so I've got that one going on here. Let's grab in this lower edge here again, and if I loop it, it'll go all the way through. So that's a good edge loop right there. But what I'm going to do is grab this one here, and we're just going to pull this out, grab these down here, and pull this down like so. Okay, so now we're going to grab this and this edge here, collapse that, this edge, collapse that, and I'm going to just grab these two by the nose and collapse that. Okay, now again, let's smooth these out a little bit. We don't want to have these, you want a little bit of a curve, but we're not too worried about how it looks here at this point in time. We are, but we aren't. So this I'm going to flatten out a little bit more. If you notice on most faces, we're going to flatten this out here like so. Alright, so that looks relatively decent. I'm happy with that. So there's our mouth, and then let's go back up over to the eyes here and figure this out a little bit. Actually, let's see here. Let's take a look at the nose. I'm going to grab the nose, grab that, and pull that back a little bit. And then this is going to be pulled. Let's see here. I'm going to move this backwards and down, like so. And then we're going to take this, and we're going to pull this out like so. Same thing with this one. Pull that out. And this one we're actually going to move backwards. And that's going to be the part where you have your first nostril hole. And so we're going to actually grab this one, move it back, grab these two and collapse that. And I think I'm just going to grab these two, pull them up further and out a little bit more, like so. And make this one and this one. So this is our kind of our first nostril. And then let's grab these two and connect them once, and grab this connect here. I'm going to pull it back a little bit, and grab these, collapse these. Okay, so that's basically your first part of your nostril. And what we're going to do with that is we have to create the second part. So in order to do that, we're going to go into edge mode again, and we're going to just grab this little part here, and I'm going to build it out and back a little bit, and then we're going to build it inward. Okay, and then I'm just going to put it like that. Okay, so that creates kind of the first gap. All right, so what we're going to do with this is, with this first gap, we're going to grab, and this is where we start connecting the mouth and the lips together. We're going to grab this one, collapse that together, move it up just a hair, and I'm going to grab this one here, right click and connect, and remember, always manipulate your geometry. So I'm just doing a real basic one right now, and so this allows us to grab this one, and we're going to pull these out. Now, by pulling these out, that gives me the opportunity to collapse that one to it. Let's move this one up closer, collapse that one to it, and then we are going to move this. Let's see here, how do I want to move this? See, this is the flat of the nose. So I think I'm going to move this down here, and I'll show you why in a second. That one cuts here. Let's move this up over here. And so you can see I've got my base of my nose. Now, I'm going to connect, let's see, that one I'm not worried about yet. Alright, so this is where the edge loops kind of start happening. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to just pull this edge here. I'm going to pull it out. So that's going to give us our foreground of our face. And so that's like so. Okay, and then this is going to come back a little bit more. And same thing with this. It's going to push back a little bit more. Now, what we can do is, this is our hole to our nose. But what we're going to do with it is we are going to loop it like so, and I'm going to actually chamfer this. Okay, now by chamfering this, it's going to create some screwed up geometry, but that's okay, because we can go in and fix that in a second. But by chamfering that, that's going to round out our nose a little bit, and also we can go in there and add in a lot more geometry, but we can go also in here and extrude that inward. Okay, and that basically creates the kind of the nasal cavity. All right, and so let's fix these. Fix this here. So all we're going to do is collapse that, and then actually we're going to grab these three here, like so, and collapse that. So that gives you a nice edge loop on your nose. When you smooth it out, it'll round out nicely. If you want, we can add in more geometry, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But for now, this is good. And then let's start building up the cap of the nose here, the top here. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to go up and over like so. And then one over. And let's connect those. Let's see how they look. So let's connect that one. Connect that one, and you see the nose is kind of getting flat here, so we're gonna round this out eventually. But let's see, we can pull this up like so. So let's grab the oops, not the loop. Let's do the ring of this, and we're going to connect this with 2. Say OK, and connect, and connect those. Alright, so that starts creating that loop right there. Now this is kind of going to get a little bit weird here, so what we're going to do is we are going to move this up, and that's going to connect with this one. And let's take a look at this over here, and we'll have to build that up in a second. But there is your basic nose. Now I can add in more geometry here if I want. And let's go to this, go to ring, and I'm going to connect it once, say OK, and I'm just going to unselect this one over here, and let's just move this over a hair. So that gives us a little bit more geometry to play with in the nose. Alright, and let's see here. Let's go up and work with the eye a little bit. I'm already at 11 minutes here, so let's go up and work with the eye. So now you notice again, we got this geometry here. Everything looks okay. Let's fix this up here a little bit. First thing we're going to do is move this up and over. And I think I'm going to move this like so. And to do a real quick, instead of making this a real sharp triangle, I'm going to move this up here and grab those two, collapse them together, and there's your kind of edge. So I like that. I think that works a lot better. So now we've got the upper arch here, and what we're going to do is let's size this up. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab this one here, connect it, and then let's move this back, and always remember to make it go back accordingly. Now you just have to realize that this eye, this plane here, let's grab this, is going to actually come back a little bit more, but the edge of this is going to be pushed out. So you're going to get kind of a weird kind of snap thing going on here. So we've got the eyelash, and this is the ridge here. So let's start connecting the eye to the eyelash here. Now, if you want, you can actually go up and extrude this outward a little bit. I'm going to deal with some of that in a little bit. Well, yeah, I'll deal with it in a little bit. But so what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and I'm going to actually target weld this stuff. And let's start with this one here. Start with this one here. And I like this one. Let's put this one back over here. That one over there. And this is kind of, let's move this one over here. And then let's grab these two. Oops, nope, grab these two and connect them like so. Grab this, and let me find that one point. It's in there someplace. Alright, so we got this one, and let's see here, I think it's this one right here. And sometimes you need to go in and take a look at stuff here. Collapse that and just move it back up. Alright, so this side is looking a tad bit better. And then let's go down here and start by moving some of this inward a little bit more. Alright, and let's grab this and ring this into at least one more here. Connect. Alright, and let's take this one, and I think we can collapse those together. Take this one and this one, collapse those together. Grab those two and move that back. Okay. And then this is where we would need to grab this, and let's match it up with that one right there. And let's grab these two, start to pull those out. And let's go and grab this one here, and let's connect it as well. And let's move this one out here, and this one out here. Let's grab both of these and just move them backwards. And let's connect these together. So let's grab this here, these three, and that one. And we can just start forming it accordingly. Alright, and I'm going to add more geometry in there, but I'm going to fix this up first. So now that we've got this all set to go, let's take this side here and let's move this up over here and grab and just target weld that to that side, that to that side, and we can grab this and kind of move that down. And I'm going to grab these, connect them, and I'm going to grab this and do the same thing. And just grab these two. Looks like I need to add. Alright, so let's grab this one. I'm going to go down the nose and just kind of fill this in here real quick. So this one here, this one there. And let's pull that back a little bit more. Pull this one up. Maybe this up a little bit so. And let's see what we can come up with here. So now this is where it's kind of going to get a little bit odd. I'm going to pull this down a little bit more. And going to grab this and move it up over like so. And grab this, connect it. So now that we've got that, we can grab these three. And let's first of all go back down like so. And then one more in. Alright, now let's grab these three, pull them back, maybe down a little bit more, grab these three, and pull them way far in. And sometimes it's easier just to rotate stuff and move it where you need it to. So I'm just kind of gonna grab this, pull this in here with this, grab these two, and then move these inward a little bit. Like so. And then let's connect the others here. So let's move this one over. These two, and those two. Alright, so there's our face as far as that goes. Now, this is a little bit deep, so what we're going to do is we're going to start pulling out some of these and averaging them out a little bit more. And spreading it out just a hair. So we got to play with it a little bit more. And then let's go in here. And it looks like this one, I'm going to move it over here and then move it again. Collapse that, collapse those, grab this one, move it over here. Like so. And again, we're just putting in the mesh so it's square. I'm not rounding it out a whole lot here. And this one needs to be pulled way back here. Alright, so now we've got this weird thing here going on, so let's see if we can fix this. Let's bring this, and this one I'm going to connect one. I think we're going to go 3 times. And that should give us enough to collapse without causing too much issues. Okay, so then basically it's just a matter of forming out the face. Okay, oh, this went in way too far. Let's pull this out a little bit. And same thing with this one here. Let's pull these out a little bit more. Alright, and let's move this over here like so. Okay, so that basically creates our mesh right there. Let's go back and just really quickly grab this and let's go in here. I'm going to connect it with, oops, grab this and connect it with F3 again and see how we can snap these together real quick here. I think I'm going to do the same thing here as well. So a real quick start, I'm going to just push these forward just a little bit more. Collapse that one. Collapse that one. And we're just wrapping this kind of around like so. Let's see here. Move this. Move that. Let's move this back out a little bit. Move that out. And if you notice here, just form that out a little bit more. Grab these two, collapse those together, and then we've got this triangle going on in here. A real simple fix for this is let's try just this one. So we're going to cut from here. Oops. I'm going to doesn't cut like that, that usually means there's a vertex in there. That, see, like that vertex didn't lock well together right, or something's wrong with it. So just go in there and fix that. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from here over like so. And that leaves me with 2 triangles. And all I have to do is take this one, move it up. And actually, let's just grab this one and we'll hit the delete key. Grab this, move it over, and we've got that in there like so. So that's the basic gist of the face. Now, of course, this needs to be really tweaked. We need to go in, and you can see, you know, a lot of these angles and stuff are just off. You know, so we have to go in and actually just pull some of them out, create more of a rounded aspect to give it a more of a female looking face, and kind of play with that. The next video that I'm going to do is I'll work on the ear and go from there. Now, sometimes, just FYI, sometimes it's actually really nice if you take a relax modifier, and that'll spread out your geometry so it's not as solid, if you will. And you can kind of play with that, and that helps sometimes, just a quick fix, and then collapse it in there. But I'm a big fan of just going in and tweaking the verts and stuff like that. You know, I think that's a better way to do things. So there's the face to start with. Like I said, we'll do the ear next, and we'll go from there. All right, thanks so much.